Good morning. I hope you're doing well this morning. Good morning as I go in and hit live in all the places. Just be patient with me for just a moment. All right, we're live there. All right, beautiful. Now let me pull this up on my phone. There we go. Perfect. All right. So good morning. And as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. It's a beautiful day today. I will say that lightly, as we had severe storms all night long. The temperatures got warm enough that we had actually a tornado watch going on in the middle of the night, and the lightning and the thunder kept me awake for a good portion of it. Luckily, everything was fine, and today it is wet outside, but it's not pouring down rain. So when I took the dog out, it was a much more pleasant experience. So I'm happy to be here with you guys. And I am going to jump in to the affirmation and journal prompt and just go ahead and get started. All right. There we go. All right. So our affirmation for today is, I choose to fill my days with joy and happiness, soaking in every little moment. Life feels amazing when I focus on what lights me up. And this was a thought that I was having this morning about, I want my days to be filled with joy and happiness, right? As most people do. However, sometimes it doesn't feel that way because you get so focused on the to-do list of things to do for, if you've got children, there's things you have to do for your children. If you have a house, there's things you have to do for your house and for your job and to make money and to pay the bills. And so you get so with all the to-dos that you don't fill your days with joy and happiness. And so it really felt important to bring that up today. It's Sunday. Let's really just get the joy and the happiness going, right? And joy and happiness doesn't mean that you don't do anything, that you're not working, or you're not helping your kids, or you're not doing all the things that you want to do. What it is tapping into that place where you can find joy and happiness in almost anything, right? Because if you're doing something that is fun, it's like time just flies, right? But if you're doing something that's hard and you don't want to do it, time goes at a crawl, right? It seems to be, you can look at your watch over and over again. Oh my gosh, it's only been 5 minutes. It feels like it's been an hour, right? I don't know if you've ever had that experience before. I have. And a lot of times it comes from how we're viewing whatever the activity is. And sometimes things are just crap. That's just the way it is. It's things you don't like to do. And you can finally get to a place where you can hire somebody to do those things so you don't have to do them anymore. Beautiful, right? But until you get to that place, you got to find a way to get the mind around it to be something that doesn't feel like a drudgery, right? So we can choose to fill our days with joy and happiness just by noticing those moments that are amazing, noticing those moments that are just calm and still, noticing those moments that may be a little bit of anxiety and start reframing how we're looking at that. Maybe we can look at that anxiety as it's a lesson learned, that anxiety that that problem that we have, that's a growth experiment, right? So if we can just tweak how we're seeing things, it makes it easier to find the joy and the happiness in every day. And if we focus in mostly on the things that light us up and make us feel amazing, whether it's something that we're doing for ourselves or doing for someone else, or anytime we're out and about and we see something that it's like, wow, I didn't know that tree could look that red. I had one of those that is near me that as soon as the fall colors come in and the light hits this tree just right, oh my gosh, it is just like, it almost looks like the leaves are so bright red, they're on fire. It is the most gorgeous thing. But I wonder how many people notice, right? So it's finding those little bits and pieces anywhere you are that you can find some amazement in and just really, really focus on those. But also, we want to focus on the things that maybe we just need to reframe just a little to make it feel more joyful and happy to complete the task, right? And sometimes it comes from we're under pressure to get something done. Whereas if we would relax and focus on the end result, what it's going to be like when it's done, then the process just kind of works out. And it seems to flow a lot easier, right? So just think about that. There's so many places in our lives that we could gather more joy and happiness, but sometimes we don't. So make it an effort today. Make a declaration today that today I choose to fill my days with joy and happiness. It's my choice. You know, one of the sayings is, let's see, hold on just a second. It just fleetingly went right out of my head. So give me a second. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning. Good morning. Great to have you here. It's whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're always right. Right? And then the other thing is that when we can find joy in everything, we're always joyful. So we get to choose how we look at things. And I've shared before, I used to know this gentleman that he had this propensity to find the wrong in everything. And then if I was happy, he was just so down. It was almost like we were polar opposites, way opposites, right? And I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And I just couldn't understand. I said, I had things that happened to me too, but it was like I chose to be happy. I chose to find the gift in it. I chose to look at where was the lesson and just keep going, right? But everything that happened to him was a catastrophe. Things that to me felt like no big deal would derail him completely because he could not find the joy and happiness in a damn thing. And I eventually had to say, I'm sorry, we can't do this anymore because I don't think this is ever going to get any different. And this is not for me. And the thing is that for me, I can wallow in some despair of things that have happened in my life if I wanted to. But does it serve me? No. Does it change what happened? No. Does it help anybody else? No. So why put myself through the anguish of constantly reliving something that wasn't great? Instead, I choose to find what are the little nuances that I can remember about that were amazing. What were, because if it's a person, right, I want to look at all the things that I learned that I loved about people with them. And then anything that I learned that I don't like about people, lesson learned. Keep going, right? And so we get to choose. When you sit back and you take a breath and you look at your life, you get to choose if you feel, if your days are filled with joy and happiness or not. And I know when you're going through something really rough, sometimes that's hard to find. And I will give you that because I've been in so many places that it took me a while to get there. The thing is that as long as you are choosing to fill your days with joy and happiness, you will start finding more things that give you joy and happiness, even if you're in a desperate place right now. And I know desperate places, I've been there. And it may not be the same desperate place that you have, if you have one, but I'm telling you, there have been times that I thought it would be easier to give up, right? But oh man, am I so glad I didn't, right? Because the joy that I can find and the happiness that I can find now, oh, super exceeds anything that I've ever experienced that was bad. And that's saying a lot, right? But it's a choice. So, our affirmation, I choose to fill my days with joy and happiness, soaking in every little moment. Really celebrate the little bitty things that happened and the big things. But the little things, oh, piled on top of each other, just will exceed and morph the big things sometimes because it's the little things that give you constant. Oof. I noticed that. I noticed that because if you're always waiting on something big to happen, you're just not even going to get all the magic and all the joy of the little things that happen along the way. It's the journey that becomes so magical, not the destination. All right, so let me grab the journal prompt. Oh, good. What makes your day feel joyful and happy? Write down as many things that come to mind so you can sprinkle in more fun and good vibes every day. So, what makes your day feel joyful and happy? That's where you start. What is it? And maybe you haven't had anything in a bit. I don't know. But if you can find one thing that has made you feel joyful and happy, then celebrate that moment. Log that into your memory so that you can bring it up anytime you choose, right? Because like when I'm working with someone, if I'm coaching and doing hypnosis with someone and they're having a hard time connecting with something that they're wanting, I sometimes will take them to look back in their life and find one place, anywhere they can find it, that they felt that what they're wanting to experience. Maybe something that made them joyful, something that made them happy. And I have them go back and find that time, the one that just springs to mind immediately, because that's when I was the most joyful and the most happy. Hold on, let's see, what's this say? I heard from a friend I've been wanting to hear from for a few days. Oh, I love it, Wendy. Yes, I love it. So when you go back to the memory of when you felt the most happy and the most joyful, you just really sit in that moment and relive it, right? You want to relive that moment, not anything that led up to it or after it, that very moment where you were so joyful and happy, right? And then you bring that to your memory anytime you start faltering and not feeling so joyful and happy. You go back to a time that you were as a memory, because our body remembers things. And we want to make sure they're remembering, your body's remembering the things that you want it to remember. Because the feeling of joy and happiness change your body. You know, we've talked about the Emoto water experiment, where they took water and they put it in jars. I've got a hair or something on me. They put it in jars, and they are on these petri dishes, and they froze them. And then they looked at the crystals, but each one of the dishes had a word or a phrase at it, like hate, love, joy, sex, happiness. I don't remember what all they were, but there's actually a book that you can get that shows some of the water experiment. But the petri dishes that had the words like love and happiness and joy were beautiful crystals. They were beautiful. I mean, you could frame them. They were so beautiful. But the ones that had hate, disgust, I don't remember, but whatever those words were, those were like, they looked like muddy water almost. And the crystals were like weird shapes, and it didn't look good. So one of the things that was brought out from all of that experiment is our bodies are so much water that it's part of our cells, everything, right? And so when we can find things to feel and that are joyful and happy, we're changing the physiology of our body. Our cells are happy, right? And it changes how our bodies react. That's pretty powerful, right? To know that we can use words that make our body happier, not just our mind and our heart, but our body. Pretty powerful stuff, right? All right, so I'm going to get back to the affirmation. I choose to fill my days with joy and happiness, soaking in every little moment. Life feels amazing when I focus on what lights me up. And remember, put that on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, the sticky notes. Put it on your mirror with a chalk marker, put it on a piece of paper by the fridge, somewhere that today you will be reminded all day long to choose joy and happiness. And then the journal prompt. I always recommend that you take your notebook or your journal and you write this down with the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt. And then you take 10 to 15 minutes in total silence, just allowing your conscious mind to quiet itself a little bit so that you can get into the internal knowing, the God voice that's always there. All the answers that you need lie within, but most of the time we can't hear them because we've got so much stuff going on, right? So after you've set your timer and you've focused in the moments of silence, quieting the chatter, and then when you come out of that, your timer goes off, take your pen and just write out what makes your day feel joyful and happy. Just write down everything that shows up, everything that you can think of. And then write down as many things that come to mind to sprinkle into your days. So you could actually, as you make this list of all the things, hello, Carmen, good to see you here. So as you write down all the things that make your day feel joyful and happy, then maybe it would be really cool to look at that list and say, ooh, that one looks fun. Let me try that one today. And you focus on that one today. So it's not like you brain dump all of these things that can make your day joyful and happy, and that suddenly you've got to make sure you've got all of those in your day. No, that's stress. That's pressure. We don't want any stress and pressure. Just pick one of them. So I'll ask you guys, I don't know who's at a place where they can actually answer, but is there one thing that you can think of right now that makes your days feel joyful and happy? And if you can, just put it in the comments. Just one thing. And now, Wendy, you said you heard from your friend, so it could be that. I don't know. So let me know if that's that, or if there's something else that that really makes your day joyful and happy. And I'll share this morning. I've told you I created the new program. Shake. Yeah, no. What the hell is the name of it? All of a sudden it went right out of my mind. Hold on a second. Shake your sugar and shimmy your soul. And the thing is I created this program because it was something I needed for me, right? And I wanted to go into the new year, and from here on out, I wanted to be more in control of a lot of my habits and my mindset, right? That's something that I work on too. Even though I am a master transformational coach and a hypnotist, I still have to work on this, just like the best basketball players in the world still have to have a coach, right? So I have somebody that helps me with that. But I also wanted some help with the nutrition part of it. As I got into menopause and everything changed, and I wanted to do something different so that my skin felt better, because my skin was suddenly feeling very dry. It was like I feel this difference, and I want to make sure if it's something that I need to do internally, right? And I'm not big on taking a whole bunch of supplements and things like that. But so I talked to Christine and asked her if she would help me, because she has a menopause group. She said, sure. So as we got to talking, and I said, well, I think this might be fun to do with a group of people. She said, yeah, let's do it. And then I wanted to move my body in a way that was fun, joyful and happy, right? I wanted it to be fun. I didn't want it to be where I hated it. I hear people all the time, I'm learning to like this. Okay. How longer is it going to take you to learn to like it? The thing is I wanted to do something that was fun and not just something I dreaded to do. And that's when I thought about, I took belly dancing classes once, and that was fun. Let's try that, right? So I created all of that to help me. So one of the things that right recently that has been joyful and happy is to realize that I don't have to do it by myself. I can, Christine is working with me. We got a belly dance person that's working with me. And then I get to share it with others to come in and take advantage of some of the amazing things that we're going to be doing in there. So that's one of the things that makes me joyful and happy. Doing things with others, even just talking to people on the phone. Yes. I love that, Wendy. I love that. So one of the things is, what did it say? Hold on. So maybe one of the things, if that's one of the things that brings you the joy and happiness, make a point today to call one person that you might not have thought about in a while and just say hello. How does that feel, Wendy? So like I shared yesterday, I don't normally work in my hair salon on Sundays, but my ex-sister-in-law is still an amazing client of mine and a friend, and she was desperate to get in before the new year, and that was the only spot I had to give her. So we are doing her hair today in just a little bit, as a matter of fact. Oh, good, Wendy, good. You'll have to let us know how it goes. Just note how good it feels to do the reaching out, and put that in your memory banks of how it feels and how exciting it is to have them pick up the phone and have that conversation. We want to really grasp onto those things, even if they're small, that give us joy and happiness. And the more we notice those, the more things will show up. It's magical, right? And I, for one, am all ready for some magic. And I want to go into 2025 with magic just exploding all around. Won't that be fun? Every day to wake up and say, ooh, what's the magic today? You know, I have a journal that I have by my bed. That's the name of it is The Magic I Witnessed Today. And I don't always put stuff in it because I'm doing other things. So it's not like I've got 10 journals that I write in every single day, because I got a bunch of them. So no, I don't do that. I'm not perfect at this by any means. But I love to go in there and write down some things that just felt so magical. And some days it's big things, and some days it's little things. But magic comes from everywhere when you're open to it, right? Look for the good. Yes, yes. All right. So thank you so much for being here this beautiful Sunday morning. I took your journal prompt, look for the miracles, and I have been doing it all week. Oh, yes. I love that, Wendy. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with me. It gives me more joy and happiness. Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, anybody that wants more information about the program coming up, if you've ever had an issue with body image or weight or food cravings, I've had people that I've worked with that were very thin people that actually they had cravings that ended up causing them to have diabetes and stuff, right? And they weren't fat, but it's because they did so much strict other things to keep from being fat, and they had a good metabolism, but their blood sugar was still off the chain, right? And so it doesn't always mean that somebody has to be very heavy and needing to lose a whole bunch of weight. Is there something that's going on that you feel food is not your best friend? You're out of control with it. Maybe it is that you crave sugar all the time, or you crave chocolate, or something that's not what you want, right? Maybe it's having some kind of lasting effect on your body. If you've ever experienced that, or if you've ever told yourself, if I just had somebody that could tell me the things to eat, then I'd be fine. We got you there. Maybe it was like, oh, I hate going to the gym. I don't want to do this. I wish I knew a way to have fun fitness. We got you there. So if you have ever felt those things and you would like to jump in, we are doing it. It actually starts January 6th. However, if you sign up early, then we're going to have some extra things coming up before the 6th. And I've got a few people that have signed up already. So I'm queuing up to find out the things that they need in particular so that I can start doing some different things for that. And then I've created a Facebook group that I'm still tweaking. So hopefully by this evening, I'll have that all set. So everybody that's joins the program will have that to go to as well. And let's see. I'll just put the link in the comments so that you can check it out if you want to. All right. So you have a very joyful and happy day, and I will see you tomorrow. Is Monday, so 2 p.m. Eastern. I will see you then.